Hello friends, my name's Emile and welcome back to some more Gran Turismo 2. Today we're continuing on with our Let's Play. This is episode number 20. Now in today's episode we're actually off touring car racing. There's 5 races in this championship. I can't actually remember the exact name of it off my head. But anyways, we are off touring car racing, and for that we need some touring cars. I may have gone a bit mad and bought 5 of them, so we're going to have a different touring car in each race, because I couldn't quite decide on which car I wanted to use, so then I bought another car, and then I ended up stockpiling to the point where I got 5 of them. So we've got 5 touring cars to choose from today. I'll show each of them off, actually. Oh wait, you'll see the alpha when we hit the race anyway. So yeah, I couldn't decide which car to use, so I've just ended up using 5 of them. Hopefully you guys don't mind. It can be a special episode. It's the 20th episode of the Let's Play special. Yeah, the Super Touring Trophy. We're off to go do that. Our first race heads to Apricot Hill. Okay, we are on track here at Apricot Hill, and this is my touring car. This is an Alpha 155. Pretty cool car. I really like it. And yeah, we are racing against a bunch of other touring cars. This one is actually my weakest car of the day. This actually only has 290 brake horsepower. It is the lightest car, 1,110 kilograms, I believe. It's also very, very understeery, apparently, which isn't good. Also, I just realised I forgot to turn the damn analog sticks on again. God damn it. I will remember to do that at some point. Anyways, there's a Toyota Chaser, Honda Accord, 2 Honda Accords actually, and 2 Nissan Primeras in this race actually. Actually, that blue Primera up there, I actually really like the race mod on that. That's pretty cool. It's got like a Superbird wing on it as well. That's fantastic. Actually, I believe I've seen that. That might be the 90 Primera. I believe I've seen the race mod for that before. I really, really like it. It's a very, very cool race mod. It kind of reminds me of the Calsonic Skylines. Is it the 92 Calsonic? The R32 with the blue Calsonic paint job on it. I really, really like that car. It's one of my, well, it's probably my favourite Skyline, the Calsonic Racing Skyline from that era. And it is pretty cool, so yeah, it reminds me of that. I would assume it's got Calsonic written on the side of it. I'm not too sure who the sponsor is on that vehicle. We'll have to try and get close to it to find out. Admittedly, these vehicles are a lot quicker than I am in a straight line. In case you're wondering, all these vehicles have exactly the same race modifications to them. They are all race modified, which means they've got the full weight reduction and the racing modification. They have super softs, although admittedly it isn't helping this vehicle all that much because, oh my Christ, the understeer is real in this one. It has essentially full engine upgrades. None of these cars are turbos, which is quite surprising. Even the Audi actually isn't a turbocharged vehicle. There we go. Oh, it just says Primera on the side of it. Okay, so there's no sponsors on that vehicle. He's trying to get up the inside, but the vehicle's understeering, but it's fine. I've pulled it off. I've got the move done. The only problem is, in a straight line, can he just completely blow me away? The good thing is, provided if this Alpha can win the race, then any other vehicle I've got here today can, because every other vehicle has upwards of 300 horsepower, and I don't really think like being all that lightweight car actually makes that huge a difference in this game, or at least it doesn't appear to. Like, despite the fact this thing is the lightest car, it will probably be the slowest car of the day, one would assume. And the light cars, mind you, I don't know, some of the light cars, well, the light cars are obviously quite quick, but the heavy cars are also pretty quick in this game, so I don't know. Like I said, I think the main defining fact of a fast car, you can't drive in a straight line on the D-pad. This is why I don't use the D-pad, it sucks. The good news is, though, through these corners, I can kind of just about be better. I was trying to follow the Primera, who ended up off the track. Those Toyota Chasers, they do look pretty cool. Decided not to go with a Chaser just because I'm not a huge fan of the Toyota Chaser, just because I've never seen one, and I believe it's a Japanese only car, so it doesn't particularly interest me really. So I decided not to go with the Toyota Chaser. Instead I went with the Alpha, which, I don't know. Maybe there's some downforce settings on this vehicle now that is race modified, I don't really know. You know, I could have gone with the Super Touring car. The reason I never actually used to attempt this particular racing series is because when I heard sort of like Super Touring, what I actually thought it meant was like the Vauxhall Calibra touring car, you know, that thing that's like super quick. It's got about 500 horsepower four-wheel drive. I was expecting all of them in this race, but it actually turns out it means touring is in like actual just genuine touring cars, which is really cool. So yeah, I've never actually done this series before, so I've no idea what the price cards are for this one. I know the overall races themselves don't pay out all that well. We only get about 15 grand per race, which isn't much to us at this point, but you know, either way, it's a fun little race to do, and we've got to do them all anyway, so we may as well do it. Anyways, we won that race. The Primera came in second. Oh, it's a Toyota Exiv, sure. That came in third, Primera 98 in fourth, and the two Hondas were last, which doesn't bode well for me because I've got an Accord. To be fair, the Accord's, statistically, the Accord's probably one of the weaker cars that I've got. Anyways, we won 15 grand and we got a new car. Let's go find out what that car is. Okay, let's head back to the garage and see what we have got. We have got a TRD 3000 GT. No, God, not this thing again. Oh, it's that thing. Huh. I thought it was a MR2, but it's actually a Supra, and it's quite a nice looking Supra, so yeah, you're staying. I like you. Anyways, we move on to our next touring car, which is a Ford Mondeo Gear X 2.5 injection. This one, I believe it's a BTCC car from the late 90s. I'm not sure. Some of these cars I know what divisions they were in, other cars I'm a little bit shaky on. But I do know that this was definitely a touring car. I remember this from Toka Race Driver, the original one back in the day on PlayStation 1, the one where you could cheat a tank in. Anyways, the next race heads to Trial Mountain. Okay, we are on track here at Trial Mountain, and we have the Toyota in front of us. We've got the Honda Civic with the very cool race mod next to us, the one that I'm hoping to use in probably the 1-8 races. I'll probably end up using that vehicle at some point because I kind of like the way it looks. There's also a Honda Accord out in front of us. There is, I would assume that's, oh, could that be, I believe it's another Toyota, and I assume that's another Accord. That's what they look like anyways from here. That is indeed another Toyota, and the red, black and blue, I'm just going to flat out say, yeah, that's an Accord. Anyways, the Civic apparently is one of the quicker vehicles in this race today. The Mondeo definitely feels a lot more planted than the Alfa does. There is still a little hint of understeer in this vehicle. I mean, they're front wheel drive, they've got about 330, 340 horsepower. I mean, what can you really expect from these vehicles? But at the same time, I still would prefer them to handle a little bit nicer. Yeah, that's definitely an Accord, by the way. In fact, I believe that's the Accord we're using next. Not like, well, actually, not that exact colour scheme. There's two colour schemes available for the race mod on that one, and that's the wrong colour scheme. You're not supposed to go with that one. It's a Castrol car. Castrol cars are green. We all know this. Anyways, we are in front, so this car's already doing better than the Alfa is because we're actually winning after the first lap. That being said, the Accord does want to go up the inside, but hey, we can take so much more speed than any of those guys can through that particular section of track. I do like Trial Mountain, even if it is very terrifying, especially on this game just because of all the curbs. You know, they really chuck your vehicle about in GT2. And in this game, you can basically be flat out through all of those curbs, but you just essentially, it depends how many corajones you have, you know, actually getting through that section. You know, you've got to, you try and go flat out through there, but at the same time, you just desperately try not want to hit a curb. Every fibre of your being wants to lift off, just so you can avoid the curbs. The upshot of it is, essentially, if you can fly through that section flawlessly, you have a huge advantage on the AI cars. However, should you clip a curb and it go a little bit wrong, then, well, it won't just be a little bit, it will be fantastically wrong, and you will not enjoy it, essentially. So, yeah, a little bit weird. I do like this track though, Trial Mountain. I believe it's been in every single Gran Turismo game. Probably one of my favourite of the fictional tracks, although I do constantly get this one mixed up with Trial Mountain and, in this game, Midfield Raceway. All of them, to me, are just exactly the same. I don't know why. Well, actually, I know why Deep Forest and this seem the same to me. It's because they've got a similar sort of, what's the word? They've got a similar sort of environment to them, you know, they're set in the middle of a forest, and so on and so on. Oop, there we go. You get the back end flying, apparently, which isn't what I was expecting. Understeer, that also isn't what I was expecting. But we have got a bit of a lead on the vehicle, so I can have a little bit of a mistake through there. The game isn't too angry with me about that. I don't know how the rear end ended up flying up. I mean, okay, sure. Yeah, I don't know on that one. But yeah, the Mondeo is kind of similar to the Alpha. It feels a bit quicker. It handles a little bit nicer because, well, I don't know actually. Maybe it's just like because this is a different track to Apricot Hill. Apricot Hill is more sort of more medium to high speed corners, I guess. Whereas Trial Mountains, you're more sort of medium speed. Mostly, but still the Mondeo, I would hazard a guess that this is quicker than the Alpha around the course of a track. And yeah, I do like the Mondeo. I do like the racing modification for this car actually. It is very cool. And we've actually says Auto Trader on the side of it, which is even cooler because that's the actual number plates from the BTCC. So anyways, as you can see, the Civic is definitely the quickest car out of them lot, apparently. I'm not really too surprised. I mean, the Civic probably has more power than them, but weighs a bit less. But anyways, we're across the line in the Ford Mondeo, and we have the Civic in second, the Toyota Chaser in third, Toyota Exif in fourth, and the two Honda Accords once again are in last place. I don't know what it is about them Honda Accords. We'll have to find out, because of course next race we are actually driving a Honda Accord. But either way, for now, we win 15,000 credits and we get a new car. Let's go see what it is. Okay, let's go and find out what the car we got is. It's going to be a Camaro 30th Anniversary Edition. Okay. Wow, actually that's kind of a cool looking Camaro. And I don't usually say that about Camaros. I usually spend most of my time mocking them, but I can appreciate the anniversary models. They're usually quite cool, and I do actually really like that car, so yeah, that's a cool car. Anyways, we move on to our next touring car, which is the Honda Accord Sedan from 1996, 318 horsepower, 1,272 kilograms. So how does this compare to the Mondeo? I'm just a bit curious. Mondeo is lighter and more powerful. Okay. I can kind of see why the Accord will be getting its arse kicked now. But the question is, will it get its arse kicked in our next race, which is going to be going to... there we go, I'll find it. Laguna Seca. Okay, we are on track here at Laguna Seca, and we're surrounded by a bunch of Accords, some Nissan Primeras, and I believe there's also a Toyota Chaser out in front. Alright, let's see why these Accords are so bad. Well, I've got the outdrag on the Primera and the other Accord, and you see this is where the straight line speed just goes to none because I can't quite catch that other Primera. The other Honda Accord is on the outside. Come on, buddy, we'll be teammates until we get past this Chaser, and then yeah. Okay, so it appears like this Honda Accord's actually making a getaway. Maybe this car will actually be the quickest of this bunch. There is a ton of Accords in this race. Maybe I shouldn't have bought this car after all, because you guys would have seen it anyway, because of the amount of bloody Accords we've had in these races. Oh, Christ. Okay. Overall reactions, the chassis feels a lot more flabbery on this vehicle. Yeah, chassis feels definitely a lot more flabbery on this vehicle. It's interesting, should we say. Wallowy, there we go, there's a good a word for it. Oh my god, okay. That chaser's apparently trying to, oh god, what was that game called? Demolition Racer me, Death from Above, score 500 points and whatnot. God, that was a good game. I actually do have it somewhere. Maybe we'll have to check that out at some point. Okay, so I think this vehicle, the suspension might be a little softer on this, perhaps. Again, it's one of those where you can't really say for definite because you can't really see the suspension much on this game because it's a PS2 game. That's the way these things work. So, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but yeah, it feels like something isn't quite right. Yeah, it feels suspension related, perhaps. This is, I mean, for the game, it's not actually that old a car. I mean, 96, that's what, 3 years old when this game came out, so I don't know. Either way, it's winning the race, which is fair enough. Laguna Seca, it kind of suits these touring cars. It's a lot less, well, it's got more corners than the last few tracks we've been on, at least I think, so yeah, this probably suits touring cars a little bit more, which is why the Accord is probably a little bit better for me. Also, not to mention the fact that I know Laguna Seca quite well on this game, well, on any game actually. I know Laguna Seca well because it's in basically every other game ever. But yeah, he's got a massive wing on his vehicle apparently, which is something. I didn't actually realise the Chaser had that big a wing on it. To be fair, the Accord has a pretty decent wang on it as well. I mean, that's certainly a wang and half, but nah, I think the Chaser has the biggest one out of this. Well, actually no, the Primera probably has a bigger one, because that Primera has a ridiculous wing. Oh, the Primera's out in front now. Great. I bet all the Honda Accords are at the back, aren't they? Come on, let's do this for Honda. I like Hondas. I do, actually. I know that's something that the internet doesn't like to hear, but I like me Hondas. Hondas are cool. Hell, I would buy a Civic or an Accord or something. Yeah, that Primera is starting to scare me because that vehicle was very, very good in that first round at Apricot Hill. I could really do with you not being in this race, buddy. Unless does the game want to throw another Accord in? Why not? I mean, you know, may as well throw more Accords in. The more, the merrier. Yeah, I mean, it isn't bad. I'll say that much. It's probably, I don't know. Out of all the vehicles I've driven so far, the Mondeo is definitely the best of all of them. This is about on par with the Alpha, I would say. I'd be kind of curious to see. I think at Apricot Hill this vehicle would probably have been a bit worse than the Alpha just because of its very, very odd issue. I've got to try and get around this Primera. That's the best way around this Primera. Just sort of playing bumper cars around the corkscrew with him. Right, provided I have a decent exit on the final corner, I should be okay in this race. Right, brake there, I think. Because this last corner is always difficult because the AI can just take so much more speed than you usually can around that corner. So you do have to be a bit careful. But anyways, we are across the line in the mighty Honda Accord. And where did everyone else come? Well, the Chaser came in second, Primera in third, Primera in fourth, and the two Honda Accords are at the back. Because of course they are. At least the Accord managed to win one race, even if it was me having to drive it to even get remotely near the front. Well, anyways, guess what? 15,000 credits. Guess what? New car. Guess what? Let's find out what that is. Okay, let's head to the garage and see what we have got. We have got another TRD 3000 GT thing. Yay! Is the same colour and everything, so I can sell you because I've already got you. Anyways, next touring car. It is the A4. It is the most powerful vehicle we've got. I believe it's maybe the heaviest, and it's also four-wheel drive. So technically, on paper, this should be the best handling vehicle of today, but we're gonna have to see when we head over to our next race, which is going to be at the it's gonna be at Deep Forest Raceway. Okay, we are on track in the mighty Audi A4 2.8 Quattro, and we have got next to us the Peugeot 406. Oh my god. the Honda Accord, the mighty, ugly, awful in every single way Vauxhall Vectra, the Nissan Primera, and the Renault Laguna. This is a proper BTCC race now. Although admittedly I don't think the Audi A4 in BTCC was front wheel drive. They definitely had one of these. We really need the Volvo instead of the Accord, but hey, whatever. Either way, apparently the Primera and the Vectra are mighty quick, which is not particularly surprising. We've raced against Primeras before, we found out they're quick. Apparently the Vectras are quick as well, but you never know, it'll probably blow a head gasket very, very shortly, so that's fine. It's a Vauxhall, that's what they do. So this Audi, well, it was very impressive off the line launch. It's got some understeer. It doesn't, I mean, it probably is the quickest vehicle of the day, but it doesn't feel all that quick. Maybe it's just because the rest of these AI cars are apparently quite quick. Oh, it is catching the Primera, actually, tell a lie. I don't think any other vehicle I've driven today can actually catch the other vehicles in a straight line. I've had to mostly go through corners. Well, as this Audi looks like if it was given a long enough straight, it probably could match the Primera. Either way, we're past everything now. We probably won't see them for the rest of the race. Yeah, but you never know. This vehicle definitely feels heavy. I will give it that. Oh, there we go. Nice braking into there. I do like the Audi A4. This particular generation, actually, I like this particular generation. The one after this, I wasn't a huge fan of. The new one's okay. I mean, it just looks like any other Audi these days, which appears to be a thing Audi are going for. I don't know what it is with the German manufacturers. They're just making all of their vehicles look the bloody same. I don't know why. It must be, well, obviously it's working because people are buying them, but I don't really understand the whole point of just having your whole fleet like look basically indistinguishable from one another. Because like you get to the point where it's like, oh, is that just like, it's like with BMW at the moment. It's like people go, oh, is that a 3 Series or is it a 7 Series? Because you honestly, I mean, I don't know, actually I haven't seen a 7 Series recently. I don't know if they've changed it around, but yeah, you know, you can't really tell the difference between a C-Class and an S-Class and stuff like that, at least from a distance anyway. I do not like the new C-Class. That thing is hideously ugly. I don't know what they were going for with that, because the C-Class has always looked kind of sporty, I guess, but that one just does not at all. It looks very much like an S-Class. A little bit of tail light action there. We haven't really seen that from any vehicle today. Chances are we probably won't see it ever again from any vehicle today. But the Audi, it isn't bad. I do have to say I was expecting to really like this vehicle. But I mean, it's probably the best vehicle I've driven so far. I would say this is a little bit better than the Mondeo. In the handling front, it's a little bit nicer. The speed is obviously nice to have as well. However, as an overall car, I'm not too sure. I mean, I do still like that Alpha, just because I like Alphas, even if it was a little bit rubbish. But, I don't know, this Audi is like most German cars. They're probably some of the best, but for me personally, I'm just not a huge fan of them. But yeah, this Audi definitely drives quite nicely, and yeah, it's probably got the least amount of understeer of any vehicle we've driven so far today. So yeah, the best. Let's just say it's the best. And that was actually quite a nice lap time as well, at 118.117. That's pretty quick. And we got a sizable margin back to the Peugeot 406, which actually came in second, Primera in third, Vectra in fourth, Laguna in fifth, and the Accord, of course, is in sixth, because the Accord is apparently useless at everything, because I don't know really, it just sort of is. Anyways, 15,000 credits and new car acquired. Let's go see what we've got. Okay, let's head to the garage and see what we have got. We have got a Tom Supra. Okay, so it's like the other Supra, but a bit uglier. Okay, you're going bye-bye. I'm sorry, I don't care enough to keep you. So anyways, our final touring car of today is the Peugeot 406 sedan. As far as statistics go, well, it's a little bit on the heavy side, however it is quite powerful. I believe it's the most expensive car here to buy. This thing is ridiculously expensive off the lot. It's like 55,000 credits or something stupid. But I did want to use the Peugeot 406 because it's kind of a cool car. I like the 406. Anyways, we head to our final race, which is going to be going to the Rome City course. Okay, we are at the Rome City course, and we have in this race a Peugeot 406, a Nissan Primera, a Honda Accord, a Vauxhall Vectra, and I believe that might be a Primera in front. I'm not too sure though. Either way, as you can see, the Peugeot is being absolutely left for dead apparently in a straight line for whatever reason. Rome Circuit though, I do like Rome Circuit. I know my way around here relatively well, so yeah, this hopefully should go as good as the last few races have gone anyway. Right, gotta make sure that Vectra does not claim second place. I hate the Vauxhall Vectra with a burning passion. That's why we're going to use it at some point in this Let's Play. Just because I want to rip on it completely and utterly destroy it. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably, as I've said, I will in all likelihood probably use it when I go into the Nationals. Not too sure when I'm going to be doing that. I mean, I'm not even going to really worry about that at the moment, because we've still got 2 more special events after this to do. We've got the GT300 Championship and the GT500 Championship. So yeah, that's something that's sort of on my mind. That's what we've got to do. And yeah, that should hopefully go quite well. I already know the 2 vehicles I'm using for that, because they're the only real 2 GT300, well, I say the only 2. The only one of the 2 GT300 cars I could actually find in the lot is what I'm going to use. GT500 cars, there's a few more of those. There is, there's NSXs, there's Skyline and stuff like that. I've already decided on which one of those I want to use. I'm probably not going to use the NSX as a little hint, just because I've used a few NSXs already throughout this. Well, I've used one NSX, I should say, throughout this series. I'm going to have to use another one at some point anyways, but still, Oh, that's what it was. GT300 cars. There is an RX-7 that I could have, but I'm not going to have the RX-7 just because, again, RX-7s, I'm going to have to use another one of them at some point in the series anyway, because one make races, and I don't want to flood your screens with constant RX-7, so yeah. Oh god, I can't believe the Nissan Primera decided to show up for this last race. That car is apparently extremely quick. I should have really gone for the Prime. If it had like a Calsonic paint job on it and I knew about it going into this, I would have probably used that vehicle for this last race instead of, well, actually I would have probably used that instead of maybe like the Audi or the Honda. But either way, doesn't really matter now. I've just got to try and catch him before in this last lap. The Peugeot is alright, I guess. It definitely feels slow, it definitely feels heavy, but handling wise, probably the nicest vehicle to drive of the day. So, what's my overall favourite touring car out of the ones that I selected for today? Probably this Peugeot. I'm gonna be honest, this Peugeot is pretty good. I don't know, I do have to admit, I do wish I had the Audi straight line speed though on this track, because I could really use it. The problem with Rome is you don't really need to brake through many of the areas, which is fine. Unfortunately, the AI also don't really brake at any point. I've got to try and get a bit closer to the Primera to actually make a move. Try and stick on this guy. I'm going to try and get him through this next corner. See if that works, and then just block him on the straight, perhaps. This is one of the only real overtaking spots on this track. I kind of butchered that a bit. I can't really let him get down the straight, otherwise I'm going to have issues. Fuck. Right, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I need to get closer to him. I can't do anything down this straight. He's just going to be a speck during this straight. I don't know if I'm close enough to make a dive on him into this next corner. 0.8 of a second behind. Go on, I really need to do something around this next corner, otherwise I am toast. Yes! I'm through, I'm through, I'm through, I'm through, I'm through! Right, good, excellent, right, block the Primera. Block him. Block him. Yes! Just about there. Oh god, right, I apologise for my language on that one. But either way, we beat the Primera, Peugeot 406 in 3rd, Vectra in 4th, Primera in 5th, and the Accord. Of course, because I don't know why people keep driving them Honda Accords. Anyways, that was that was one of the tensest races I've had on here for a while. Anyway, we win 15 grand and we get a new car. Let's go see what it is. Okay, let's head back to the garage and see what we have got. I believe you can only get 3 prize cars from this, so hey, look, there's another Camaro. It's exactly the same as the other Camaro, so it's being sold because I don't need 2 of the same car. Anyways, that is it for the Super Touring Championship. In the next episode, I'm going to be tackling the GT300 Championship, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching. My name's been The Real Emile, and until next time, farewell.